Good afternoon. We are. Where are we going, Brittany?
We're gonna go to Chick-Fil-A.
Chick-Fil-A! Chick-Fil-A, in my opinion, is the best.
And we don't eat it all the time, so it's like
we don't eat it all the time.
It's like whenever we want to celebrate something.
Yeah. Or
go to
when we're craving something.
Yeah.
But I feel like out of all the fast food places, it's, well, I don't know why this is air quote.
Yeah.
Fast food places, it's one of the better and healthier version of fast food. So I feel, I don't know, like
fresher,
less guilty. Yeah.
Welcome back to Grind Time! Today we are at Chick-Fil-A, well, a parking lot of a Chick-Fil-A, getting, you know, Chick-Fil-A. We are so excited.
Yeah. So let's show what we have. I got the, what is this? Spicy chicken deluxe sandwich. So it's basically crispy spicy chicken with tomatoes and lettuce. It comes with pepper jack cheese as well, but I am
no cheese for you,
lactose intolerant.
And I got the chicken strips.
Yay.
So good.
And then we also each got large fries, waffle fries, and sweet tea with half and half that we're gonna put in. But yeah,
some good shit.
Super duper excited.
Let's us get down to
And then we also have sauces. These are our favorite. Mine are the Chick-fil-A and the Polynesian sauce. They also have the sweet sriracha spicy sauce, but they didn't give me one, so just those two.
I like the Chick-fil-A sauce also, and I also like barbecue for the strips, you know. Gotta have that barbecue. I'm gonna put in your half and half.
Oh yes,
here.
please, thank you.
Just one half and half capsule in your tea. Makes it taste
like Thai tea. Yeah.
Yay! Cheers.
Cheers.
Mmm. Oh, baby.
Yum. I feel like I can eat Chick-fil-A every day.
Yeah. So today we're talking about relationships. When we first moved to Washington for school, we kind of bonded over the fact that we're both in long distance relationships. So that's how we started the program. You had been with your ex for how long?
I think before we broke up, it was like 3 years.
Yeah. And I had been with my ex for like, I think it was like 4 years, like going on 5 years. Yeah. And it was tough. Like long distance is tough because we literally were doing the same things all the time, but we were also like going out and exploring. Like we wanted to check out the nightlife and all of that stuff, which is kind of hard for like in long distance relationships when the other person is like out adventuring and like having a really good time and exploring. It's, you have to have like a lot of trust.
Yeah.
Just be like, okay,
like don't fuck up.
Yeah.
So how was like your experience with like your long distance relationship with your ex?
It was pretty, like I felt like it was kind of like we wouldn't really have much to talk about because literally whenever he would ask me what I would be doing, it'd be like I'm studying, or like, you know, it would be hard to during the week at least. And because we were in class for like the whole day, it would be like, what are you doing, you know, studying. What are you doing now? I'm in class, you know. So it would be kind of like, it got a little bit repetitive, and the person that I was with was a little bit like needy in terms of attention. Also, like, he had a lot of trust issues with me. Like, he didn't want me making friends with our guy classmates and stuff. Which is really hard because it's like, these are my classmates. I want to make friends with them, you know?
And like future colleagues as well.
Yeah. What about you?
Mine was like, it didn't really get hard until maybe like towards the end of it. I feel like, because yeah, like obviously, you know, there's that piece of like missing each other and stuff like that, but we both were pretty busy. Like he was working on like his career, and I was obviously like, you know, here doing school, so like we would talk whenever we can, FaceTime whenever we can, and then we would like text each other, you know, like throughout the day. So communication wise it wasn't bad, but it was more towards the end of like first year that was like, you know, I feel like there wasn't anything wrong with their relationship other than like the communication started dying down. You know, like things got repetitive, and like a lot of times like we were going out, so like I didn't really get to talk to him as much, or like he was busy with like his job, so I couldn't talk to him as much, and it was just a lot of like conflicting schedules and whatnot.
Knowingly going into it, a long distance relationship, knowing that you're gonna be in that situation for at least 4 years, it gets like at first you're really optimistic, but it kind of starts beating down on you after a while. Like, okay, this is what my life is gonna be like for the next 4 years. And especially if it's like it's really hard, especially if you know that it's kind of a situational thing where it's like if you were together then everything would be perfect, but because we're in this shitty situation, like it's not working out the best that it could be, you know?
But what's also kind of fucked up, which I didn't find out about until recently, was that he actually cheated on me towards the end of our relationship before we broke up. I was like, what's the worst?
Yeah.
So, you know, there's
the fucking worst.
I feel like that was just kind of like a straight up like disrespect, and like also kind of like came out of nowhere. Because it's like you've met him and like you've seen how we interacted, and we were very like,
you guys were close.
Yeah, we were
like
close.
Friends.
Yeah. We had a good dynamic going on.
Yeah, that's like, and to know, I think it just makes it a little bit worse because it's like all of the time and effort that you went into like going back and forth and like wasting, you know, getting upset about certain things, and it's just like the person wasn't even worth all of that, you know?
Yeah, so
regrets.
No regrets. It was still a good relationship, I'm not gonna lie.
Technically 2017, beginning of 2017 is when
all those shit went down.
So we went through like a first 2 quarters of school, like, you know, in that situation. But I think by the end of first year, we both had broken up with our boyfriends. And then I started dating someone new.
Dad.
Who Lisa calls dad. And she sometimes calls me mom.
Yeah. He's like an Asian dad.
I was like, you're gonna be that guy when you grow up. That grumpy Asian man that's like, get off my yard. There was a little bit of a, it was very close in time between when I got out of my last relationship and when I started dating my new boyfriend. I didn't think that it was that gonna be that hard to like go from one relationship to the other, because I like really liked him and wanted to be with him. But like there are definitely times where it's like a lot of issues that we may have will stem from the fact that it's like when you get into a new relationship, there's a whole new set of expectations and a whole new way of dealing with conflict, because, you know, if you can imagine like being in a relationship and whenever you have an issue with a person, like in your relationship, you deal with it a certain way, and then now 5 years later you're dealing with a whole, like, maybe it could be the same problem but technically 2 different people. So yeah, it's just like learning and, you know, changing your expectations and setting new expectations for your current relationship. It's also really hard too because we're in school so much and we're studying so much. I mean, I know it doesn't probably look like it from,
we study, we promise.
But like it takes a lot of hard work, and so you have to be able to find somebody that A, understands that, B, probably has something going for themselves so that they don't realize how much you're not there, you know?
Yeah. like having independence.
Yeah.
You know?
What's your current relationship status?
I am single AF. Which is fine, like it's not a big deal. I think if anything, it's kind of like a, what's that saying, like light in the darkness?
Yeah.
Or something, blessing in a disguise.
Blessing in disguise.
So yeah, I'm single.
So good.
I've dated here and there ever since like the breakup.
How was that experience? How was your experience
Weird.
like being single in Seattle? A lot of people meet through like apps.
Yeah. So initially I used to not be a fan of apps because I tried it a few years back when it was like becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And I think I told you the story, but like I had this horror story of a guy that I dated. Like it didn't go well. Or like, you know, like we went on a date and then I just kind of like ended it because I was just like, eh, whatever.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh yeah, you too. But then like I found out that like my picture from like an Instagram or something like that, along with my number and name and everything, was posted on Craigslist under the like women seeking
Men.
company or whatever.
Yeah.
Saying like, oh, my name's Lisa. I'm down to do anything, men or women. Like, call me.
Yeah.
So after that, I was just like, I'm never going on dating apps again.
Yeah.
And then, you know, 3 years later, I was using them. And it's interesting, like, I don't know if I have, like, not standards, but it's, like, high expectation of a person. I guess standards. That when I was on Bumble, like, I would run out of people. But at the same time, like, I had that feeling of, like, whenever I was doing it, I was just like, no, like, it's not gonna work out, and like, no, like, overthinking it even before like anything like actually happens with the person. Tinder was a little more like a bigger field.
Yeah.
But Tinder is like where I find like the shadier people.
Yeah.
Not everyone's shady on Tinder, but
well, Tinder has that reputation.
The hookup reputation.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, and I tried like Coffee Meets Bagel and like other ones, but it was just kind of like, I don't know, like I didn't really like putting that much effort into it.
Yeah.
In terms of like writing my profile and stuff like that, which is nice. Like it's a good way of knowing how someone is.
Yeah.
And like I've told you like from beginning that like I'm a very much of an organic kind of person.
Yeah.
Like meeting someone naturally and like having that initial chemistry rather than like you look attractive and you sound very nice. Let me just like go on a date.
Let's go to coffee and see if you're actually like a shitty person or not.
Yeah, it's been interesting, but other than that, like it wasn't really like anything really, because like I've always been like an independent person, so like single or not, like even when I was in a relationship, like I would like meet people like and I was like outgoing and like whatever, so it's just like I never really felt the difference.
Yeah, you have never been the person that was just like, I need to have a, you know, like boyfriend or
So like my attitude about it would only change, or like the feeling would only change if I had the mindset of like, oh, well I'm single, I can like technically like go flirt or I don't know what girls say. Go flirt. Do they say that? I don't know what people say nowadays.
Yeah.
But you know, if I had that mindset of like looking for someone, then like you know, that would be the only difference. But I never really like went out on my way to be like, I'm gonna go find someone today.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
Lisa, on the prowl. When you're on the prowl, what do you look for in a guy?
They have to be really genuine.
Yeah.
And I think that's just like how I am. Like, you know,
that's hard to like find at first because they could be like fake.
But I feel like sometimes you can tell like the fakeness shows. Yeah. I feel like any person in my life in general, like they just have to be genuine. But like in my partner, I want them to be genuine and empathetic, goal-oriented and driven. Yeah. What was the selling point for Brian to you? Hi Brian. Hi Dad.
He's gonna be like, why are you talking about me? I think it's just that he has a very different way of looking at things. Different in the sense of like, I would have some thoughts like that, but because I am the person that I am, I think the way that I think, but like that side of things, thinking like that, always intrigued me. And so that's what it was at first. It was like, he's just a very intriguing person, and I like, it was refreshing to see another perspective of it. We also like talked, like our conversations would just flow so naturally, and I felt like I didn't really need to try. And it was kind of like what you said, like I just felt that he was a genuine person, that he was like a responsible and honest person. So then, yeah, and so I just continued to, you know, get to know him more. We are very different. We're like pretty opposite in the sense of like, I'm like going into healthcare. I'm a very empathetic person. I'm like an emotional being, you know, all of those things. And he's more of the logical, like he's in tech, like he's more of the business, like that side of things. And so I feel like we complement each other. Like we're different, but we're similar in some ways so that it keeps us bonded. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, yeah.
I had always dated guys that like were kind of fixer-uppers.
What does that mean?
Like, I always had my goals of what I wanted to do and what I wanted to become. And I was very ambitious and driven, and I always worked hard. And I felt like the guys that I dated were always just kind of like flopping around. You know, like didn't really know what they wanted. Like when you, at least for me, it's just like I didn't see them being like the kind of person that would like go after what they wanted kind of thing. It was always like I was helping them. I would always try to help them be better. But I feel like Brian is the first person I've dated that kind of like I help him with stuff, but he helps me a lot also, you know?
I don't know what you mean by that though.
Kind of like you want to change them and make them better, and you have to build them up.
As in like they're not the fixer-uppers, but they're like the things that need to be fixed.
It's like when you buy a house, it's a fixer-upper if you need to put a lot of work into like making it a nice house.
Gotcha. What I realized is that a lot of people like that get intimidated by girls like us. Like when women are more, not like successful, well, successful too, or like driven or more ambitious, or like have more of goals and like has their life figured out. They get intimidated, and then like sometimes like some people lash out at that, but like also try to like manipulate it into like there's something wrong with you. Like they have to step on you and bring you down for themselves to like be in a, like if you do end up going into a graduate program or a professional school where even if you're still in the same state, I've heard of people like still breaking up, like getting out of relationships even if they're in the same state, because when you're in medical school, like only we can understand what we're going through. And maybe this is why some people who are in the same cohort end up dating each other. But like it's hard to understand the kind of like not suffering, but the struggle the struggle that person is having, you know. And it's hard to see, like even I have this issue sometimes too, that it's like I wish they could just see how much work and how much like energy it takes to do this program, to do any medical program. It's like really hard to maintain things outside of school because there's so much pressure inside of school and surrounding school that it's hard to like keep track of all of the other things that you have to deal with on top of it, because med school is like it's like a 40-hour week, 40+ hour week, you know. What did we talk about? I forget. Being goal-oriented, badass woman. As of right now, I'm very bitter.
You'll find somebody. It's just like you put yourself out there and you're not afraid to be vulnerable.
I don't think I want to be vulnerable anymore.
Really?
But, or at least
you just want to be a bad bitch player?
Oh, hell fuck yeah. And I think that's something like I realized is that like I like deep conversations and like diving in deep fast. The thing I always forget is that like not a lot of people are like that. Even if they seem like it, you know? So I would like find myself getting in that kind of state with like whoever I'm dating like pretty early on in the relationship.
I feel like I'm the same way. Like, I feel like I dive deep really fast, but I don't know, if I can't be comfortable with somebody on that level, then to me it's like probably not gonna work. I don't compare my relationship to other relationships or anything like that, but I don't think that I could be in a relationship where it was like you aren't like that close with each other, you know? And I feel like that's the only way that you can achieve that is by being like, outside of being, you know, them being your partner, your lover, or whatever it may be, that you have like, that you just enjoy hanging out with each other.
How do you feel about PDA?
I think if it's like me and my partner and around strangers and stuff, I feel cool with it. And like the general like holding hands, like touching each other, not in like not like touching each other down there, but just like, you know, like putting your arm around them. Shut up. And like, you know, like a peck here and there. I think like too much would be like those couples that like sit on each other and like stroke each other's genitals. I'm just kidding. And like make out with tongue kind of thing. That's just fucking weird. And I think naturally just like around friends, if we're in a group of people, I just don't like generally don't, you know. What about you?
I'm the same way in terms of like, but I feel like I go like that extra step of like just like
just don't touch
do
me.
It. Don't do it. Just because like it's nothing against my partner. It really isn't. But it's more of like I'm a type of person where like I am very hyper aware of the environment, and like I feel comfortable when all my friends are comfortable. So yeah, like in terms of if it's just me and my partner in a setting where we don't know anybody and it's just strangers, like I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, we can hold hands, we can like kiss, like whatever, not touch each other. But if it's like a group setting where we're with like all our friends and things like that, especially like if we have someone like with us, like just one person with us, and they're like the like I don't want to call them third wheel, but it's like, you know, they're already a third wheel as it is. Like I don't want to go that extra step of like making them like feel uncomfortable even more.
Yeah, true.
So like even like holding hands, I'm very like not keen to
that's
it.
true. She's like, I want to hold hands too.
Yeah, and it's like something I have to always tell my partner. It's like nothing against you. I just want my friends or our friends to feel comfortable around us, and like, you know, I strive for like being in a relationship where everyone's friends with each other, and like you don't feel awkward that like you're third wheeling a couple. You know, it's like weird because like even for me, like even if it's like a non-genital area, so like your arm, it's like if you're doing that, it's like please stop.
Just like, let me just, you know,
like what about a dog? Like, good boy.
I don't know. That's like that's one thing in relationships too. It's just like everyone has their different preferences on stuff. Because I've definitely dated guys where it's like, they'll like put their hand, you know, certain places in public and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't feel comfortable.
I've had like people I've dated where, they have like this like asserting dominance.
They have to show that you're theirs, kind of thing.
It's like, what am I, like a fucking territory? Like, are you peeing on? Am I a fire hydrant the dogs pee on? I feel like a lot of men have this whole like, I have to be a man kind of complex going on. It's just like, hey, we're all human beings.
I know.
We're independent people. It's my butt.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed our little car mukbang and watching us scarf down some Chick-Fil-A.
So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe below if you haven't, and comment us on your relationship experience and what you look for in your partner. In a future partner, not your partner right now.
Current, past, whatever your situation is, let us know. And don't forget to follow us on our Instagrams. Our username for our YouTube account is It's Grind Times. And our handles for our personal Instagram accounts are also going to be down below.
See you next time for Grind Time!